Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the CAGOP headquarters. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everybody that worked on the No on Prop 50 campaign. I'm Assemblyman David Tangipaw, and I have seen this election since its very inception, all the way on the Elections Committee, to appropriations, to voting to it on the floor. And it's a sad day. It's truly how I believe. It is a sad day when it comes to Prop 50 because the people of California have been lied to. They've been lied to by Governor Newsom and the elites here in Sacramento. And these election results just proved that they campaigned on a whole lot of lies and drove emotionally charged arguments to get people to vote against their best interests by protecting the gold standard on the redistricting committee. This is something that we've worked against, but I am just happy and I'm excited because the fight for California has just begun. I've worked with a lot of young people up and down this state who have lived entirely under this one-party rule in this state, and they're fed up with it. So this has energized a lot of people, including myself, to keep on fighting because the future of California is what matters. This is just a beginning. It will never end. We're going to keep on working, and we're going to keep holding those accountable in Sacramento. And so I want to introduce the CAGOP Chairwoman, Corinne Rankin, for a couple comments.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Corinne Rankin. I am the chairwoman of the California Republican Party. And, we stand here tonight at the California Republican Party headquarters, but this is not a Republican versus Democrat issue. This issue, Prop 50, is political insiders, political elite versus the people of California. True power lies with the people. And the passage of Prop 50 tonight takes that power away from the people of California. We have fought for almost 2 decades here in California to not only create our independent redistricting commission, but to keep our independent redistricting commission. Like Assemblyman Tangipaw said earlier, it's the gold standards. Other states should be following the standard that Californians set with this independent redistricting commission. We have fought for it. We've fought to keep it. Community members throughout the state of California have spent tens of thousands of hours pouring input into the shaping of these districts, and in one fell swoop, political insiders grabbed the power away from the people. But like Assemblyman Tangipaw said, the fight is not over. What they have done is expose themselves. So when we go into next year, into the midterm election, the general election, it's going to be about the issues. Republicans will continue to fight for the best interest of Californians. And I truly believe that the Republican Party is on the right side of history in this case. California voters deserve an independent redistricting commission. The passage of Prop 50 does not solve the problems that plague California. It does nothing to address homelessness, nothing to address the rampant crime of retail theft that everybody's been plagued with here in California. It does nothing to address the rising cost of gas and groceries, the kitchen table issues that everyone speaks about every day, the real issues that concern California. And I think it's worth noting that California Democrats took the power away from the people for their own political gain. And with that, I think we'll take some questions if anyone has questions. Yes.
So we're seeing that some Democrats are already taking, making their moves following the passage of Prop 50. Congressman Ami Bera, for example, has just announced he's going to be run in California District 3, which is currently being held by Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley. Do you have any statements in regards to his announcement today?
I would say, of course he did. They're saying the quiet part out loud. This is exactly why they did this, because they want to have all the power. And, I think Californians, we've got to ask ourselves, what are they going to need us for? They've drawn the maps. They're running in the districts. They don't need constituents. So I think it's a real concern for Californians, and I think that going forward through through the 2026 cycle, Californians are going to start to realize. This is another bait and switch, just like Prop 47. Prop 47, they lied to Californians and told us that it was going to be for safe neighborhoods and schools. And what did it do? It brought in rampant retail theft, a crime wave like California has never seen before. And everyone will soon realize, again, California Republican Party, Assemblyman Tagapa, we're on the right side of history on this.
Do Republicans wish they had more resources, financial resources, to fight Prop 50? There's no secret that Democrats outspent Republicans as far as television time, getting the word out. Anything you might have done differently?
You know, it's always great to have an endless amount of money, but California Republicans, being that this is a Democrat state, we're always very smart with our resources. We're used to being outraised. We're used to overperforming and working really hard. You know, I think it's worth noting that in the last 3 weeks, the California Republican Party raised $11 million. We raised and spent in an aggressive digital ad campaign. We sent mailers, text messages, digital social media. So we've spent a ton of money on the GOTV efforts during these last 3 weeks.
In those districts that could flip blue because of Prop 50, what's the strategy now? Where do you go from here? Obviously, you're not just going to concede those districts, you're going to fight to keep them. So what happens tomorrow?
We keep fighting. This fight is not over, it's just started. So now that the political insiders have drawn their maps and Ami Bera has already come out and said where he's going to run, you know what they're going to be left with? The issues that plague California, that Prop 50 did nothing to fix. But that's going to leave this conversation wide open for Republicans to come in and not only remind people of the problems that California is dealing with, the crime, the Prop 36 still going unfunded even though the voters voted for it, kitchen table issues, the homeless problem that Gavin Newsom promised to solve when he was mayor of San Francisco that still hasn't been solved. We're going to be pointing all of those issues out, and we're going to be taking our message directly to the people of California. We're going to be talking about solutions and talking about how the Republican Party and Republican policies can solve the issues that plague Californians. Yeah? Did anybody have any questions for Assemblyman?
Well, and just to answer that as well, as you know, I'm on the ballot every other year. And I think this is something that we're all going to just have to get together, especially on the conservative side and the minority party in this state. And we're going to have to look into the mirror and say, what can we do? What can we do to come together and see and protect the voices? More than 40% of this state is conservative. More than 40% voted, cast their vote, and are Republicans. And what we've got to do is really just come together and prepare ourselves for whatever is going to happen. But as I stated before, the fight, whether it's Prop 50 and taking on all of this, has just begun.